So Cassandra, how long have you been performing?
So I've actually been performing for, I think I counted, it was just under 20 years now.
Wow.
So there was a high school band, or sorry, a middle school band actually, that I auditioned for and made that, and then wanted to be in the evolutionary band in high school. So did that. And then afterwards, there was an all-girl rock band that I was in called Anxiety. And then 21 started, and then Monochrome started about a year or two ago now. So It's been project after project.
Okay, so you said you've been performing for about 20 years, and I seriously thought you were in your 20s.
I am 30 now. Yeah, last year I turned the big 3-0.
The big 3-0. Well, you look like you're in your 20s, so you're doing good.
Oh, thank you.
So throughout the past 20 years of performing, who have been some of your influences?
So I'm influenced by a lot of different types of music. I've been really into like progressive metal lately. So a lot of the high soaring voices and whatnot. But my mainstays are always Freddie Mercury and Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. Okay. So, I mean, Freddie's vocal range is just insane always, and his stage presence is insane, and so he's always a good one to look to. And Lizzie is just so powerful and unapologetic about everything she does, and just her attitudes and her stage presence and her voice are really inspiring to me.
That's fantastic. It's always, I think it's good to have those influences, and you just described how they influenced you so perfectly. It's better than just saying, "Oh, they looked really good," or anything.
Yes.
Like that. So, do you think being a Northerner shapes you as an artist, and if so, how so?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a matter of being in the North can be a little bit like detrimental if you're doing original work and stuff like that. But when you've got festivals like this one, when you've got programs now being put in place and stuff like that, it really helps. It also creates a fairly tight-knit community of musicians in the North. So everybody kind of knows everybody. Everybody is going to each other's shows. Everybody is hyping each other up. It's really nice. So it gets to be, it's like a little family up here. And so you can go to everyone's shows and kind of see what they're doing and kind of see what works and what doesn't. And everybody just kind of bounces off each other. And it's really nice, actually.
Yeah, I've spoken to quite a few artists yesterday and today, and that has been something that I was really impressed by, that there really doesn't seem to be any competition, but really it's more of a community, like a family, like what you're saying, but also you're each other's cheerleaders and encouragers. And I think that's wonderful. I just think that's really something really special to be part of. So that's really very cool. So when you're performing on stage, or even when you're, after the show, what is something that you think about that you just really nailed the performance, or you just really had an impact on the audience, or they had an impact on you by their response?
It's so when performing with Monochrome versus 21, it can be very different things, but it's never usually about how technically good you are, mostly because people don't generally care. They just care that you're engaging with them and that you're doing the song properly and that you have some talent, of course, but they really just want you to be a human being in front of them. But when I get off stage and people are coming up to you and saying how great it was, what a great time they had, sometimes people will reach out afterwards and ask when we're playing again, or they'll come up and say, when you come back, do this song, which knows that they want you back at least.
Yeah.
Or when you're just feeling the absolute electricity from the crowd, and being able to feed off of that. And honestly, that feeds me to be able to work harder and put in all I've got. Sometimes it's difficult when the crowd just isn't into it.
Yeah.
Not every crowd's going to be into it, and that's just part of being a performer, but it's always best when they are. And when they are, you always feel better getting off stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. So what do you think is going to be the best part about being part of the Northern Arts Festival?
Well, we've done it a couple years in a row now, and it's always great to see how much talent we have in the North, basically. So being able to be one of those acts is an honor, and then being able to go out and see all of these concerts and all of these duos and everything like that, or bands or whatever they are performing, and being able to showcase. Sometimes there's only so many venues in this town, but there are so many talented groups and solo artists and everything like that, that this festival really is able to showcase all of them. Well, 90% of them anyways. And it's really cool to be a part of.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. Well, on behalf of Sudbury Performance Group, thank you so much for being part of this year's Northern Arts Festival. We're really excited to see what you're going to bring to it. It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, thank you, Cassandra. It was so nice talking with you and meeting you, and you have a good night.
You too.
Thanks.